I changed my whole life for him, and now we're done.
It's over!
I, a 25 female, moved from X state to Y state. Let's say California to Tennessee, because my boyfriend, 24 male, got a position here. Unfortunately, there were 0 job openings in my field, so I took a job as a nanny instead. I have been with my boyfriend nearly 2 years. When I got here, I promised the bosses, 40s female and male, aka the parents, that I would be able to be their nanny for a year. But after the year, I wasn't sure. By the way, this comes from Leaving for Florida. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you do in the comments. But OP says...
First and foremost, I like how OP's name puts the state. And
yeah. Well, presumably that's where they want to go.
Oh, got it.
Not where they are.
Okay. Okay.
That's Z state.
Yeah. I have only been with them for 5 months. Unfortunately, I am 100% going to leave my boyfriend, and I do not want to stay in this location.
Tennessee's okay.
My relative said I could stay with her until I find a job or housing, and I already have found and applied to 10 plus jobs in my field in her area. Here's my dilemma. I already know I'm going to leave. I know I want to give my bosses a month notice. I also know I'm going to ghost my SO. What?
OP,
Don't want to get into it, but basically he won't let me break up with him, so I'm just going to leave while he's at work.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so this doesn't seem like a safe situation. Honestly, the only thing that has kept me here the last few months is this job. I have fallen in love with the kids and enjoy it. Unfortunately, I hate everything else, and my pay cannot afford me an apartment on my own, and really, I want to pursue an actual career. I just feel so bad about telling them I'd be with them a year, and then around halfway through, say I have to leave. I have become somewhat friends with the parents and have even gone out with the mom for a social event about a month ago. I need help with the wording. Right now, I just feel like I'm ultimately letting them down and pulling the rug from under them. Both parents work full time and they have 4 kids, some of which have autism, ADHD, and MS. So definitely some special needs there. Please, can someone help me in some way? As in, I plan to take the mom aside tomorrow after work. How can I phrase it? What should I say? I don't know. I feel scared and embarrassed and guilty. And there are some comments, but what do you think OP should do?
The truth.
Yeah.
This person has created a relationship with you outside of the confines of you working for her, and she'll understand. She'll probably work with you on getting out of the situation you're in even quicker too.
You guys said that, you said that you guys were friends. I feel like just be as honest as you can. Say, I never intended to leave early. Kind of circumstances have changed though. I will help you find a replacement. Yeah. All of that.
And if you can't get out and they're like, no, we won't let you leave, you got to leave for yourself. Was there a contract you signed? Can you get out of it?
Comment 1. I think being as honest as possible is the best way you can go. Just tell the mom how you feel, that you're sorry and so worried to disappoint, but it turns out you're in a bad situation with your SO and will be moving home or wherever. A month's notice is very generous if you are in any way in an unsafe situation with your SO and need to go sooner than do it. You're saying he won't let you break up with him sounds like a red flag. Your safety and well-being are paramount. As a mother who has had nannies and babysitters move on to do bigger and better things, I was always sad but very gracious when things like this happened. Good luck, and please take care of your well-being above all else. OP says he isn't physically harmful, I will say that. Otherwise, he's very manipulative and perhaps harmful in other ways. But if I ignore him and spend my free time in the bedroom, he'll ignore me right back, which is how my life has been for a while. I have to force him to spend any time with me, and whenever I try to talk to him about something, it turns into an argument.
Dude, why are there so many guys useless?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened to America?
What's that one bald guy's name?
Steve Harvey?
No, is it Andrew Tate?
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Tate.
I love that. The guy that's bald in your mind is Steve
Harvey.
That is beautiful.
Anyway, thank you very much for the advice. It helps me to hear from someone who has had nannies in the past. I think she would appreciate me being fully honest. She's a very empathetic and genuine person, and I like her a lot, which is pretty much why it's hard to leave. But I'll try to keep in mind that she will understand. And reply says, side note, welcome back to Florida. Remember that you come first in all of this. When you're ready to leave, give the mom notice. Just sit her down and tell her what you told us. It's very reasonable. OP says, thanks. I love how I tried to keep vague about the locations in the post, but gave myself away with my username. Oops. Comment 2 says, as a parent who had a nanny, is there some way you can find a substitute nanny for them? Which is, what I was saying. That would make a world of difference. When our nanny left us on 2 weeks' notice, it was a real scramble to find alternative childcare. If you can find a replacement and maybe even do a gradual transition from you to her, it'll be so helpful to them. Reply says, how would she go about doing this in any way that is different from how you would do it as the parent? She's only been in the area for 5 months and she's not a career nanny, so it's not like she has contacts. I thought selection of a nanny was usually more formal than asking someone inexperienced to find you a sub. I am sure she's lovely, but I can't say I take my new nanny's inexperienced suggestion for a replacement nanny. They don't even know themselves. Knowing my current nanny is going through some stuff, I can't even imagine even asking. Reply says, yes, this is a little ridiculous. I very much doubt they're paying her to find, hire, and train your replacement money if she can't even afford an apartment where they live. OP says, unfortunately, I don't know anyone in the area other than their family and my neighbor who is a full-time nurse. They actually found me, and I them, through a well-known nanny search site. However, I would be more than willing to write up the duties and or train my replacement.
Dude, that would be a world of difference.
Yeah, I feel like, I get what those commenters are saying and saying, like, what are you going to do? But I do think it's nice to offer, like, say, yeah, I'll help you with whatever transition you need. But there is an update.
Yep.
Do you have any thoughts?
Dude, 12-year-olds these days can do really good at babysitting. Well, back in the day they could. I don't know about these days. They might be iPad kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck. I don't know. I think
Good
she'll
luck.
take it well. My prediction is she's going to take it well.
I think
and you're going
so.
to move on.
I think it'll be all right.
Especially if you explain the situation.
Yeah.
I don't see any outcome where she'd be like, no,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be like, you have to stay here.
you're
You can't get
binded
out.
to us.
I know you're in a bad situation, but you gotta stay. Update. I did talk to my mom 2 nights ago. I waited until her work was over. I work based on her hours, not the dad's, but I also feel more comfortable talking to her. I took the advice of a lot of people on the original post and was just completely honest. I told her that I was moving to Florida and that I planned on breaking up with my SO and that I really wished I could stay for the family, but that everything outside of work was not enjoyable, which is all true. Her response was, as expected, surprised but understanding. She did immediately say, well, I know her friend knows someone who's been looking. I'll ask her. So she went straight into damage control mode. She also thanked me for giving her so much notice. 1 month. I did tell her that I could train or write something up for the next nanny, which she didn't really respond to. I think she was still trying to figure out who to ask to be the new nanny, but I did get it out there. One of my favorite parts was when I asked her not to mention anything to SO if she saw him out and about. We live less than 5 minutes away, so it's possible. And she just looked at me and said, why would I ever tell him? It was great.
Awesome. Okay, good.
But I've got to tell you guys that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts? I think it all worked out.
It was a little shocking coming from the mom not being like, oh, like, is everything okay? Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like damage control, got to look out for herself.
Yeah.
Which, if someone came up to me, I got to leave town. It's not, well, maybe OP didn't present it in that way.
Yeah, I'm wondering if she just didn't say, like, specifically, like, I've got to leave my partner because it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know exactly how she said it, but.
And, you know, everything was in good timing. I think you were meant to leave now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think it was a 99% of OP knew, like, she's going to understand. But it's that 1% that, like, eats at her. She's like, I don't think that 1%, if she says no, can ruin everything.
Yeah. No, I have a friend who's a nanny and, you know, who has, like, critiques about things. But it's, like, it's so hard because you get attached to the family and stuff. And you're like, I don't want to, like, leave them in a lurch and stuff. So you feel guilty.
Yeah.
To the more negative side, at least for me, yesterday after work, I stuck around and ate dinner with them. Then I had sort of a mini breakdown. I know it was totally unprofessional and not okay, but I ended up crying a bit and the mom took me to the front porch and calmed me down. I was crying because I realized I did not want to go home at all. I was making up any reason to stay, and I told her that as well, and she actually offered me to stay on their couch if I felt I needed it. What a wonderful woman. So overall, even though I acted like an idiot and definitely will not use them as a job reference, haha, I would give them an A+ on being decent human beings and helping me out. And there are some comments. Comment 1, I work in a contact center where I employ a number of staff. I have seen my staff members cry snotty tears because a customer has been crappy to them or because their home life is interfering with their work. And I've had to talk to them about why, and I've discovered they're struggling with a booze problem. They're just barely managing. Or they have a parent in trouble or some or other things. No decent employer should ever expect their staff to be any less than human. And sometimes things get to us in environments where we want to keep our heads. Work life and home life do interact and have an impact on each other. So maybe don't beat yourself up too badly about being unprofessional. And that is the end of that story. And there you go. I think everything is going to be okay. And I think get out of that situation.
And I hope Florida's great.
Yeah.
I lost custody of my son to his babysitter.
How?
Trigger warning, this story gets progressively more crazy and disturbing. So skip it if you don't want to be disturbed right now. I, 28 female, am a single working mom. I remained pregnant after a breakup and decided to carry on the pregnancy because I was excited to become a mom. I got a 12-week unpaid maternity leave, and afterwards, since I lived far away from family and had no help, I looked for a babysitter. By the way, this comes from Evening Butterfly 16. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know in the comments what you would do. As OP says, I quickly found a fellow mom, 32 female, who agreed to come to my house 5 days a week, 9 hours a day, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. She was so nice and bonded with my baby easily and seemed skilled, and I felt so calm. That's amazing.
I'm wondering what her situation with her kids is.
Yeah, she's
Like,
a mom
maybe
too.
maybe what, he's a mom, but he's an older mom, and her kids are off
Yeah, in
out
school
of the
or
house
something.
already. No, she said 32, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be young mom.
Well, my
So,
mom,
like with young kids, I mean.
my mom at 32 had a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
But still, like, kids that need to be taken care of is
Oh.
my point. So, yeah.
I didn't give many rules, just asked for a daily summary, and said she wasn't allowed in my bedroom. Before work, I left everything we needed on the table and pumped milk in bottles in the fridge for her to use. First 2 months were great. She summarized the day, everything was in order, and the bottles were used. During my baby's 6th month, he began refusing my front airbag and wouldn't latch, though he took the bottle fine. After talking with her and reading up, I figured he was getting used to bottles, or maybe my scent was different. It was a stressful time, so I let it go since he was still fed until I couldn't pump enough anymore. I switched to formula, gave her instructions as usual, and started weaning with some solids. 2 months later, around 8 months, something felt off. In 2 days, I used more formula than she used in 5. I asked if she was using it. She said yes. I thought I might be mistaken since the baby wasn't fussy, but I set up a GoPro in the living room and an old phone recording in the kitchen. When I watched the recordings, I was horrified.
Uh-oh.
Any thoughts?
I'm assuming that
predictions?
she's feeding the baby.
She's breastfeeding the baby.
Okay.
Or front airbag.
Yeah.
feeding the baby.
After I left, she sat on the sofa and front airbag fed my baby.
Yep.
Yikes. 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 Yikes.
She's taking place
I feel
of
like
the
you
mother.
could get her arrested for that, presumably.
Yeah, not once, but 3 times for a long time. He had refused my front airbag, but latched onto hers.
Oh, yikes.
She never went to get formula or solids for him, only to cook for herself. And she front airbag while eating, holding him with one hand under his butt. She also tried to get him to call her mama.
What?
She sat him on her lap and said, "Mama, say mama." And who am I? Mama.
Oh, my goodness.
When he uttered it, she said, "That's my good boy," and kissed him. I felt
This woman
sick
is crazy.
and heartbroken.
This one is
What?
crazy. Yikes. That's jail.
Why?
Jail.
Why would you
I
want
don't
to do
know.
this?
She's crazy.
Yeah?
She's crazy.
Does she even have kids?
That's a good question.
This is her kid in
She
her
says
head.
she has kids.
In her head, this is her kid.
Oh, yeah, I am a mom to your kid.
To your kid.
You're the babysitter.
Yeah.
I confronted her in person and showed the videos. She said my son needed a real mother, not one available only 2 days a week. And she wouldn't give him formula or frozen milk, only real milk, admitting she had done it since day one. I won't repeat the rest because I wasn't polite.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm literally immediately police. I'd be like, I have proof that she did this. I have video proof of her doing it. I did not give her consent to do it. Jail.
What do you even do?
You could sue this woman's 100%. You could sue her.
I fired her immediately.
Yeah. Yes. As you should.
She breastfed my son without my consent and tried to replace me. I'm horrified and broken. I took a week off of work to process this and reconnect with my son. I feel like our family was violated. Your thoughts would be highly appreciated. Edit. She isn't local. I live in the countryside without agencies. I posted in Facebook groups and left my number. She contacted me within half an hour, asked for a photo and description of my child, and we realized she lived 40 minutes away. It seemed far, but she agreed. She admitted pouring my pumped milk down the sink to make it look used. I had given her a key for emergencies. I collected it before firing her and will change the locks. Edit 2. I had my baby checked right away. Nothing seems wrong, though I'm waiting for more in-depth analysis. It looks like she entered my bedroom. I usually lock it, but sometimes forget. Like the day I set up the cameras, I found blonde hair on my sheets and in my private bathroom drain. I think she showered there and used my towels. I'm missing a bra and underwear. I hope they turn up in the laundry.
She literally tried to take your place. Oh, this is so freaky. She tried to take your place.
She's trying to become you.
She's trying to become you.
I suspect she took my baby outside multiple times. I bought both a stroller and a baby carrier while pregnant. I only ever used the stroller. The unopened carrier was boxed in the guest room. After this, I found it unwrapped, a bit dirty at the shoulders and smelling used. She never mentioned it, and I never told her it existed. I also remember a small car seat in her car, even though she said her daughter was 7. And 9 hours a day, 5 days a week, she could have done anything.
Yikes.
She probably isn't a mom.
Well, she could be, because someone in the chat was
okay.
saying like if she
I just saw someone say
to
a
breastfeed, she would have
skinwalker is
had to take
crazy.
hormones unless she had her own baby.
Yeah, but like the other thing is she was getting on OP. They need a real mom, not just someone there 2 days.
Yeah.
But what about your kids?
Exactly. That's a great point. And I do think she probably would have had to be taking hormones, because how is she away from a baby that needs to be breastfed for, 5 a.m. to, or what is it, like 5 to 8 p.m.?
She might have a milking business.
Something like that. I don't know. What?
You can have a milking business
Huh?
where you stimulate your
Why do you know this?
nipples, and then you
Who
get them
informed you of
sucked
this?
for 15 minutes a day, and then after about 3 to 6 months, you can produce milk.
I'm talking about how she probably doesn't have a kid.
I know, but I'm saying
You're just adding more.
I'm
Riley?
just saying this is how she got
Sure.
breast milk.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
All right then.
What, Keon? Do you not research on how you could potentially feed your child in case something happens?
Not me.
Maybe you should.
I should get baby formula, but not me. Are you trying to... you know what? I love you. Just stop.
All right then.
You be you, man. You be you.
I'm consulting a lawyer about pressing charges. My mom is coming to help and watch my baby when I return to work. I don't feel safe hiring another babysitter. Makes sense. My baby still won't latch and seems uneasy with me. He latched once while very sleepy. He takes formula fine. I'll work to reconnect and move past this. Mothers, please be careful about who watches your children. People say it isn't my fault, but it feels like it is. So please be careful. We have comments.
Yeah.
It's hard to
mean,
realize it early on.
I would say when you're trying to find people to watch your kids, like going through, obviously you can never be like 100% certain.
Yeah.
But going through like babysitting apps where they have to be vetted and have like reviews, or people that you know. That's how I babysat. Like it was either people that I was recommend, like friends being like, hey, Sophia babysits. Do you need, like, I know this person that needs a babysitter, and doing that way, or going through an app. So that's one way to feel a little bit more reassured about who you're, letting watch your kids.
Yeah.
But it isn't your fault. You didn't know. And the second that you found out, kicked her out.
Comment number 1, take time with your baby, but you shouldn't minimize the situation. You need to contact a doctor in case she can give him something through the milk. Also, you should also contact the police.
Big, yes.
She is crazy and could do that to others. So press charges now.
Agreed.
Yeah, and definitely.
Yeah, make sure that like everyone knows on Facebook, be like, this person, name, blah, 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 did this to my kid.
Yeah, definitely.
Put it out there.
ASAP. Comment 2, I would call the police. That has to be illegal. Reply, hate to be that guy because I'm equally disgusted by this story and came to the comments hoping a lawyer had chimed in. But what exactly would the charge be? Feeding a hungry child? I hope OP finds something to charge her with and lands like the hammer of Thor, because what the babysitter did was a violation of trust and of OP's family. Exactly what OP said. But I'm at a loss as to what would even be illegal. Immoral, yes. Effing evil, yes. But illegal? This is a totally effed up situation, and I hope OP gets justice. I just don't see what the legal system could do. I hope I'm wrong and a lawyer has chimed in somewhere saying, do this, but I don't know.
There's no way that that's not illegal. I would be shocked. I would be shocked if that wasn't illegal.
Is it illegal to breastfeed someone that's not my child without the consent of the mother? Here,
I
let's look it
mean,
up. One
just
second.
the fact that it involves being partially
Is it
like
illegal
unclothed.
to breastfeed a child that's not mine without the consent of another mother? Okay, yes, it can be illegal and is generally discouraged to breastfeed a child that is not your
Generally
own
discouraged.
without the consent of
discouraged.
the mother due to potential health risk and legal ramifications.
Yeah.
As the act can be considered unauthorized touching or a child
Exactly.
endangerment without
It's
proper
literally,
consent.
it involves being unclothed in front of a child that is not your child. Obviously, that's illegal. I don't know what that commenter was thinking. Oh, immoral? Not illegal. What do you mean it's not illegal? That's so obviously illegal.
All right, update. In the last 20 days, a lot has happened. My baby is okay after an in-depth analysis, which relieved me, but that is only the good news. Just take a moment.
That's the only good news?
Let's just take
Everything else is bad?
let's just take a moment. Say thank
Come
you to that.
on.
That's why we started with the bad news first.
Yeah.
Whatever
I prefer
there's
a
more
sandwich. I prefer good news, bad news, good news.
whatever there's more of, lead with the less amount. If there's more
I
good
prefer
news,
good news, bad news, good news.
lead with the bad news.
Anyway, let's hear the bad news.
I spoke to a lawyer and the police. But in my country, there is no laws against front airbag feeding someone else's child without consent unless disease is knowingly transmitted.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
How are there no laws against that?
The disease.
How?
Can you make up one? Doctor, can you do something? Here's $20. What
How
can
is
you
there
do?
no laws.
Diagnose.
That's insane.
It also isn't a harmful act because my baby cannot testify.
What?
The baby can. Goo goo gaga. That's not my mama.
That's crazy.
If anything, well, here's the scary part, because if the baby does testify in a way, he knows how to say mama with the babysitter.
Yeah. And she's like, see? And they're like, well, this child is that woman's mother. That's
Oh, dude, the baby.
Please
That's
bring the
that
witness up to
child's mother.
the stage.
Wah.
who's your mother? Mama.
Mama.
Well.
Point to your mother. Say mama when we show pictures of the babysitter.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah.
I showed the tapes, but they said he willingly accepted her front airbag.
What?
I feel powerless, and I'm still talking to my lawyer, but the chances are very low.
I'm sorry. Their excuse was, well, he seemed to like it. He's a baby.
I need to know what country this is, because this is crazy.
That's crazy. I'm sorry.
Hear me out.
I'm sorry.
In this country, cannibalism of this, like if you feed a chicken, well, the chicken ate the chicken.
Yeah, the
seemed to
chicken
like
ate it. That's what it sounds like. It's literally, well, the chicken liked it. What's wrong with that?
Oh my gosh.
It's like in the show Hannibal. If Hannibal's defense, when they were like, you fed a bunch of people human meat. And he was like, well, they liked it.
Would that happen?
Yeah, it's the show Hannibal. It's
That's
about a
who
cannibal.
Hannibal Lecter is, yeah.
Or being like, you know what? Another thing, if a teacher groomed a student, at, like in Pretty Little Liars, that girl is in a relationship with her
think of this.
teacher. I've also never seen Pretty Little Liars. Like the student, she has a relationship with her teacher, and she's into it. So if their excuse was, oh well, no, I wanted to be on that. Like, no, this excuse makes no sense. I hate that. You have a bad lawyer.
Your country's weird.
Yeah.
No offense.
All right, let's get back to it.
I'm so bothered by this. Oh man.
So if someone kidnaps a baby and the baby's like chill with it, that's fine too.
That's on the baby.
Yeah, that's
baby
the
willing-
baby's fault.
This
That
literally
baby
sounds-
went with that person.
Low key.
I feel like this
willingly.
judge is gonna be like well, let's just decide who the baby wants to go with. And the baby's like, mama, to the babysitter, and the judge is like, well, baby wants to be with that lady, so sorry, OP, can't have your baby anymore.
I guarantee you the court would be like, well, you let her babysit.
Yes. Okay, let's find out what happened. I need to know.
I spoke to her again to confirm what she did. She admitted taking my son out often using the carrier or stroller, front airbag feeding him in public, and taking him on car trips for errands more than a dozen times. She said there was nothing wrong with it. She admitted passing my baby off as hers because it was simpler when talking to other moms. She confirmed showering in my room and resting the baby on my bed, saying she didn't remember my rule. She claimed she borrowed my bra and underwear and put them in the laundry, which I never found. When I asked why, she said my son needed a real caring mother like her, that a mother who works most of the week is not enough, and I would never be enough. I ended the call.
Yikes. She's crazy.
Delulu.
Crazy.
I tried warning other mothers on Facebook, but posts were removed for defamation and hate speech. My mom is helping. Things are getting back to normal, but I feel powerless. I plan to start therapy when I can. My son still doesn't seem at ease with me, and he won't latch on at all. It hurts, but I need to be strong for him. Thank you for reading my venting. I hope nothing like this ever happens to any mother. We have another update.
Oh, man.
Oh,
I need to know.
This is why we have another update. I remember the title.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. Uh-oh. Ming Ming says, hopefully you recorded that, OP. Yeah, I hope so. I really freaking hope so. Yeah, Kim Fine says she's LARPing as you, OP.
She's gonna change her name to your name.
Yeah, probably gonna have like an identity fraud case going on here.
You,
Yikes. I'm scared, OP.
I don't like this.
You need to get a better lawyer.
That's the thing, though. It's not the lawyer's fault.
Yeah.
This is the country's literal laws. There are no laws for this.
OP,
which is
what?
insane.
No laws,
Where do you
Batman.
live, and why has this not ever happened before where you live?
Because I hope the main reason is because it's never happened before.
Hopefully.
Update 2. I started therapy straight away. As of now, I'm still attending with the help of antidepressants. Unfortunately, they are the only thing keeping me straight in this situation. I made a couple of posts a while ago describing what happened with my former babysitter, and after 2 months in therapy, she filed a petition for third-party child custody rights. I was mind blown when I was notified of such an event and thought it could never happen. But from a legal standpoint, she's using the fact that she was my son's babysitter for 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for 5 months before getting unjustly fired, and is filing for extreme neglect on my part.
That is such a whoa. I'm sorry. If you live in a country where this lady is able to get your child after this claim, move.
That's crazy.
That would be insane.
She was
because
hired as a babysitter.
She was hired as a babysitter. You were paying her, presumably, and then you fired her because, one, she went against your rules of don't go into my bedroom, and also was breastfeeding your baby against your consent.
This is actually legit wild.
That is insane.
We
that
have
would be insane.
Never, ever, ever, ever heard of a story like this
If your
before.
country allows this, what?
Where do you live? This is completely false, but it's proof. She's using text messages where I wrote to her at different times after 8 p.m. that I was coming back home in half an hour or so, sometimes even on Saturdays. This happened 5 or 6 times since I worked overtime in extreme cases. But since we never signed any contract or registered/texted the details, I have no proof to demonstrate that this wasn't real. Also, she's using the fact that she didn't have a regular work contract to her advantage, showing proof of deposits to her bank account every month from me. I feel so stupid because I'm the one who proposed avoiding cash and using bank transfers since I usually keep track of all my expenses that way.
Wait, why do you feel stupid? That's perfect. You have proof that you were paying her to have a job that was babysitting for your child.
She's even using the fact that I'm on antidepressants to try and prove that I'm unfit to be the mother of my child. Been like 5 months of this, and a week ago I went to court for the last time. I tried to rebuke every claim by proving my work shifts, but since I live on the countryside, it's hard to prove that I came back home constantly at 5 p.m.
It doesn't matter if you came home late. I'm sorry. The amount, literally almost every person that I've ever babysat for has come back late at some time or other.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was able to go to court and say, well, they came back late, so I should be able to parent their children, that would be insane.
I tried asking my neighbors, but they couldn't testify in my favor since they couldn't be 100% sure.
What?
What neighbors are those?
Your neighbors are like,
You're like, you go into your neighbors and you're like, hey, my babysitter's trying to steal my baby. Can you say something? And they're like, I don't know, man.
Are you sure that she's not the mother and you're the babysitter?
Yeah, we haven't seen you around.
The tapes were also of no use, since according to her, we agreed her front airbag feeding him, and she was taking good care of him. Obviously false, but again, I had no proof. In 2 weeks, the judge will deliberate, and my situation is looking really, really grim.
How?
Wait, that makes no
you
sense.
You must have the worst lawyer in the world.
That makes no sense. How, if you have no proof, then
and
how does
she's
she
got
have
no proof? Yeah.
Then how does she have proof of she said I can do this?
I'm sorry. If I go to a judge and I say, yeah, I fired her because she was breastfeeding my baby and I didn't know, and then I got video footage of her doing it, and then the babysitter goes, no, we agreed on it. If I'm the judge and I'm not a complete idiot, I'm going, oh, well, obviously this babysitter's a liar. How is this possibly in any world grim for OP?
This is crazy.
What? Again, I need to know what country this is.
Because move out of that country.
This is insane. If this is real.
Yeah, Miss Kitty Cat says, what about the police report that she tried to file?
This feels like a nightmare. My antidepressants are literally the only thing keeping me on my feet, along with the support of my therapist and my mother. But I'm going crazy with social services keeping a constant eye on my child and rushing in and out of my house. It's stressing me out like crazy. I feel like I don't have any chance and that I'm losing my son forever. I don't even want to write this here, but I don't want to stress my mother or repeat this again and again to my therapist. I feel like it's all my fault, that I should have taken a part-time job instead of keeping a full-time one. I'm sorry this feels incoherent or like I'm rambling, but I really, really need to be listened to in order to keep my sanity. I can't believe this is real. Update 3. Oh my gosh.
Where do you live?
This cannot be a real place.
Where do you live?
Is this actually real? Hannah says. I don't even know at this point.
Anymore.
This is crazy.
I don't know. I have nothing to say because I need to know how this happened.
Update 3. A lot of Redditors in the past 6 months reached out to me worried about my situation. Honestly, I don't even want to give an update because I feel so ashamed of myself that it's hard not to burst out crying. The court's decision came through months ago, and against every shred of hope I had, custody of my son was granted to my former babysitter.
What? Everyone who is involved in that case should lose their jobs. They should lose their jobs. Because how are you taking custody away from a woman who is literally going to work to provide a house and care for her child? We have no proof that she has provided any unsafe conditions for her child, like that she's done anything unsafe. The only unsafe thing that's happened is the babysitter. This doesn't make sense. Miss Kitty Cat says she's a terrible lawyer if this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, she must have had a terrible lawyer if she lost custody to her babysitter.
Maybe the former babysitter was in on everything. Bribed.
Yeah, probably.
Here's my conspiracy theory. Babysitter found out she was never going to have kids on her own. Couldn't find a partner. Wasn't able to be pregnant. So
She stole a kid.
she stole a kid. She
This
went on
is
Facebook
literally
Marketplace
kidnapping.
and found the way to steal this child and knew everything because this is going so easy. And also the fact that she's proving everything. She's such a villain.
Ming Ming says, why would the babysitter have more claim than the grandmother?
Who knows,
Any
man?
other family member. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like the babysitter planned all this because she knows all the laws and was like, yeah, I did this and that. Yeah, we agreed on this on the first day.
I literally don't. I'm like, I don't believe this. I can't believe this is real.
Legally, the decision was based on the extensive time my son spent under her care, me being considered unfit due to my antidepressant medication and the absence of a formal work contract.
Also insane.
The court perceived her daily involvement in my son's life as taking on a parental role. They decided that she was the one providing my son with emotional, physical, and developmental needs, something they ruled I wasn't doing. Even if I was working to provide for him, the court said my working routine amounted to extreme neglect.
That's a lie. What are you talking about? Really quick. It's not neglect if OP is paying for a person to care for her child.
Wait, for them, she was the one raising my son, and to protect his welfare, she would continue doing so. I was shattered.
This doesn't make sense. It's not neglect if OP was literally paying someone to take care of her child so that she could pay to have her child in a safe environment and be cared for. She's literally going to work to support her child. This doesn't make any sense. These people are corrupt.
This is wild. The moment when they handed my son over to her was beyond agony. She took him in her arms. She kissed him like he was her world. Moreover, my son immediately tried to unbutton her blouse to accept her front airbags, something he never did with me. He started crying like crazy when he couldn't manage, while the babysitter looked at him with a loving smirk. I think that was the moment I realized that for him, I wasn't anything. I wasn't his mom, wasn't family. For him, the babysitter was his mother. I can't describe what I felt, other than realizing I worked full-time and ultimately lost my son to another woman. I felt defeated, and as much as I hate to admit it, I accepted the defeat.
This is insane.
Because no one was fighting for you.
This can't be true. I don't understand how this could possibly happen.
How is this kid going to grow up and find out?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, you're my babysitter? You stole me from my mom?
Well, the thing is, the babysitter's going to twist and be like, no. She was a terrible person.
Unfit.
She was never there for you.
Mom.
I'm your mother.
What the heck?
Feeling so broken, I went to have a chat with her. I asked her to please at least let me visit my son and get updates on him. She accepted, but with conditions. I cannot touch him or hold him. She will hold him for the entire visit, and she will be the one arranging the dates. I accepted out of pure desperation. I don't know what got into me, but after that, I held my tears and asked her why she was so obsessed with my son that she even took him away from me legally. She replied that she felt I was unfit as a mother and that my baby was so beautiful and needy that he needed a real mother who could raise him properly. She's just saying that. That's not really the reason.
I'm also very confused because she took that as a job. What is her job? How is she supporting this baby? Other than the time.
She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have a job. She was doing that 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
You were
She
getting
doesn't have a
paid to take
job.
care of that baby.
She legally stole a baby and doesn't even have a job to support the baby.
I'm so confused.
I don't.
This is crazy. She said she loves breastfeeding and told me she loved the sensation when she breastfed.
Well, that sounds really weird and icky.
It was something she never experienced with her daughter or with other babies. She said he just sucked her.
I don't like that. I hate that.
She said she liked it so much that she had to become his mother. After that, I felt dizzy and on the verge of passing out, but she continued. She told me not to worry about him because she will do an amazing job raising him. She said she would make him fully dependent on her, just like a good baby should be with his mother, and she had no intention of weaning him off or stop breastfeeding. And since he likes my front airbags and milk so much, I don't think I'll ever stop. Those exact words still echo in my head.
This can't be true. It's gotta be a fake story. It's gotta be. Because if the mom is saying all this, or the babysitter's saying all this, I'm recording all of it and going, judge, freak alert.
They don't care, dude. Oh my gosh. She also said she doesn't trust schools, so she would homeschool him just like she did with her daughter. Then she walked off telling me I should leave the mother role to the better fitted one. After that, I drowned myself in work to avoid facing reality. I cut most of my social relations because it's hard to explain what happened. I feel so ashamed, like I did everything wrong. The only friends I kept, along with my mother, told me I should fight to get my son back. But I'm so broken mentally that I don't have the strength. I'm also going to my therapist, but she doesn't seem to help. I'm relying on the antidepressants more than ever and on my work, which at least gives me a reason to get out of the bed in the morning.
What?
Dude, just like
I
no
need you to
one-
finish this story. I need it to be done.
I visited my son less than 10 times in the 4 months. My life revolves around working and waiting for a text from the babysitter so I can see him. Sometimes she texts, sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she greets me while breastfeeding him. It's hard to keep my composure, but he seems so calm and in love with her, and that's the only thing keeping me sane. He looks at her in a way he never looked at me. She arranges visits in public spaces like parks or bars.
She's bringing a baby to a bar?
And they never last more than 20 minutes. She always brings her daughter, who clings to her mother and never leaves her side. Not even for a second.
Does have a daughter who she was, after that whole talk about, you need to be there for your kids, she's supposedly homeschooling this daughter, but she leaves the daughter alone from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
I'm saying there's too many plot holes here.
There's too many plot holes.
I don't like this at all.
But
I
also,
don't think this is real.
Is that her daughter or is that somebody else's kid?
Yeah, that's I was thinking
Either
that too.
someone's lying like massively, like she's lying about she's got a whole, I don't know,
This is so weird.
sting operation going on, or someone's lying.
She just buries her face in her mother and never looks at me like I'm a monster. I hope my son doesn't become like this. Just the thought drives me insane. The visits usually consist of me watching whatever she does with my son. I can't even touch him, or she calls off the visit. This sometimes even means watching her nurse him while saying how amazing her baby is and how great of a mother she is. It destroys me mentally and physically, but I need to see my son. You need to watch more stories like this on your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime on Apple, iHeartRadio, or Spotify. I'm going to finish this.
Finish it
Finish
off.
it.
This gotta be fake.
One time when she was leaving, I think I overheard her daughter asking for her front airbags when they got back. I really hope I misheard. Just thinking about how it makes me shiver and cry. Knowing my son is with someone like that woman and might become like that. I would like to try and get my baby back, but I don't have the mental strength. It feels like the legal system betrayed me, and I don't see myself having a chance. I feel so stupid, like I lost everything because I was careless. Can we look up some more stuff for this? This is insane.
Are all the comments just saying this is fake?
No, a lot of the comments are
What?
like, so sorry for your like loss of the baby. Hope you can get it back. But this is from like the last update was from 2 years ago, and that's it. There's
I
no other.
literally don't believe this story. And I never say this about stories. I never say they're fake because I try to give advice, regardless of whether or not I think the story is real. I can't believe this story is real. I cannot believe it's real. It just simply can't be real. That's crazy.
I tried to look for like any sense
Can
of
you do
it.
Control F fake?
Yeah. Let's see if anyone's saying
I did
this
on the
is
most
fake.
recent, the last update, but everyone is just.
No one is clocking this story. There's just no way that the legal system would give your child away to a babysitter.
It's probably the worst story I've ever read.
There was one comment on the third update where it's like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Just one comment. Is it popular?
Not as popular now.
Ay. That's the end of that story, though.
I really don't have any thoughts on this. That was a nightmare.
That was a nightmare.
I feel like I'm still asleep and I need to wake up.
I feel
And-
like I'm in a nightmare.
A very surreal nightmare.
This would not happen in the U.S. No, that would be insane. Like
Here
a
we go, here we go.
babysitter getting rights over any like other family members is crazy.
I'm baffled.
That just
I
made
just-
zero sense to me.
If a teacher said, I teach these kids from 8 to 3 p.m. and I'm watching this person's kids more than they're watching
And
their
feeding
kids.
them. Not even airbag, but just feeding
Yeah,
them.
just feeding them. I deserve to have their kids. That would be crazy. You can't just take someone's kid. She was being paid to do a job, and OP had proof that she was paying this person.
I need more evidence. I need to see the court
Yeah.
case.
Please.
Can we
Prove
PM
this
her?
is true, OP. Prove it.
Prove it. I want to see it. I'm going to get the next one ready.
My father's wife kept stealing my child's gift and giving it to another.
This isn't White Elephant.
I, 40 female, went with my SO, 36 male, and our child, 8 female, to visit my father and family for the holidays. This is no weekend trip. I drive 1,100 miles one way every other year or so to visit my family for the holidays, weddings, funerals, and sometimes during the summer. This year, the plan was to spend Christmas with my father, 66 male, his wife, 64 female, let's call her Marge, and my brothers alongside their families. I normally end up at my older brother's house with his wife and kids because my daughter loves to spend time with her cousins, which we encourage. By the way, this comes from Starbite82, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, Marge and I have had a very strange relationship for over 2 decades. I have tried to get along with her time after time, always ending up compromising on my part. She's extremely passive-aggressive and will not confront or admit to any wrongdoing by herself or her children. They are apparently all saints, and my father's blood relatives are always wrong and need to apologize. Because of the distance and the fact that we're driving, I purchased a majority of our child's presents online and had them shipped directly to my father's work. He owns his own business. I was afraid of something happening to them while sitting on my dad's home doorstep during the day. People be stealing during the holidays. I love to give gifts, not in excess as we do live very frugal lives, and usually only buy things we need. My child does not receive gifts except for her birthday and holidays throughout the year. A few days prior to our trip, we were making plans for Christmas Eve, and I mistakenly assumed that my father and Marge would spend Christmas Eve with us, considering that we were staying in their home for the duration of our trip. They had already committed to spending it with my older stepbrother and his family 2 hours away. We accepted this and said, okay, we'll spend Christmas Eve with my younger brother and his wife's family, no problem.
Yeah, like you guys usually do.
Yeah. We had an extremely wonderful time, and I'm glad that we went. A few days prior to Christmas Eve, I opened the shipping box that contained the one special present that I knew my child would have liked. It was a niche gift that is only sold online by about 2 retailers, both of which do not have a traditional brick-and-mortar storefront.
Is it a Live View Pro?
Yes.
Really? And you can okay.
I opened the shipping box to check the gift, show my SO, and I also mistakenly showed Marge.
Uh-oh, guess who's gonna have opinions?
Christmas morning, I had forgotten about this one gift when it came time to put presents under the tree and ran to our room where we were staying to find it. I checked that room high and low at least twice over, and my SO also checked 3 times over to no avail. I showed a picture to my father, and he made the remark that he saw Marge's grandchild wearing it on her head the day before when they visited my stepbrother's family on Christmas Eve.
What?
Marge tells me she found it on clearance at a well-known store. Yet when you look on this store's website for anything associated with the gift in question's genre, there are no results. I again give her the benefit of the doubt because we were leaving the day after Christmas to a neighboring state where my mother lives. I have a touch of ADD and I lose things, but if I spend the time to find the lost things, I always find them. The day after I got to my mother's house, I pulled everything out of my car, went through every single bag, every suitcase, and no present. Before I make accusations, I try to cover my bases and look at all possible situations because I need to be sure. The only possible explanation in my mind is that she stole it.
Does this item have a serial number?
Well,
I doubt it.
yeah.
But
I
could
don't
it?
know.
We should. You think I'd be against this? We should put serial numbers on everything.
I think you ask her where she got it from, and then you email the people that sell it and say, do you ever put this in this store?
Yeah, she did mention it, but probably like get more into it. That's weird. Why would she steal that? Ew.
Give it to another kid. I've contacted my father, my full-blood brothers, and my uncle, who is my father's brother. They all shared stories, except my father, about Marge and her shenanigans that would make the average moral person gasp. She has constantly over the years tried to separate my father from his family and embrace her side. She plans parties and gatherings and makes excuses as to why she does not invite my father's side of the family. This isn't just a few times, I'm talking over 20 years here. My father has made the comment to my older brother that he feels as though he's being tracked by her. She consistently has his phone in her possession, so when I call, it's hard to not speak to her in some way. I have tried to save face over the years, but this is the last straw for me. I've already told my father that she is passed away to me and that she is trying to control his life by pushing his children away.
Yeah, it's an isolation technique.
I mean, she takes his phone all the time?
Why? What's on there?
He asked me why we always have tension, and I told him, I don't know. I've tried to get along with her, and this was the icing on the cake. This woman is everything she could possibly need or want, and yet is still not happy or satisfied. This woman is literally spoiled rotten and has complete control over my father, who's just trying to make everyone happy. In the process, my brothers and I have been the ones to bear the blame, the shame, and have had to back down to keep her happy. I just can't do it anymore. I draw the line when you steal from my child, who, by the way, also has special needs. My intention of this post is for advice going forward. I just don't know what to do other than try to stay constant in my father's life. I love my father, and I worry about his health and her lack of care for him. She takes medication and drinks on a daily basis. My father may never leave her because of his health, and the divorce would absolutely ruin him financially, medically, and the aftermath would destroy his mental health. The punter is that my SO works extremely hard to give us a decent life, and he hasn't had a real vacation for the better half of a decade. This is by his own choosing. Believe me, I have tried to make him take a break. He does not get along with his brothers or stepfather. This trip was to try and convince him to move closer to my family, because I'm close to all of my family except for my father's wife and her children's families. Yikes. So you're trying to convince him to move closer to them, but one of the people that you're moving closer to is controlling thief.
Yeah. Doesn't help that
great.
they've been married for about 20 years too.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I don't, okay.
I would confront her way more about that gift that she stole.
I would definitely be
Like,
mom
you need to
and
pay that back.
dad all over.
Yeah.
I don't see isolation techniques happen with older people. It's usually with like younger people.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like I've seen it a lot with like people my age.
Mm-hmm.
Not like this.
Anyone can isolate.
Uh,
Comment 1, you're going to have to be blunt with her and with your father. This is unacceptable behavior. She needs to reimburse you for the item that she took because it didn't just disappear overnight. Then you'll have to go no contact and let your father know that you will be there for him if he ever decides that he wants to be with his family again. I'm sorry, but if he chooses to stay with her, then he condones her behavior. OP says, I completely agree with you. I just know that the no contact is exactly what she wants. This is really where I'm torn. Thank you for your comment. Comment 2 says, you cut them out of your life. I'm really sorry for your father's situation, but at the end of the day, he made a choice and decided to stick by it. He chose his wife over and over again, and yet he doesn't put his foot down. He allows her to be like this. He probably understands his role in the relationship as giving her whatever she needs to keep tapping that fine young butt. What?
it's not. They're the same age.
They're the same age. And he allowed it to continue to this day, so that's the bet he made. You and your family, however, don't have to partake in this circus. Go low contact or no contact at all. Meet them only in restaurants, cafes, and whatnot. Don't go to their house. Don't subject your kids to interact with Marge. Your father had 20 years to wise up and choose his family over her. He decided not to. OP says, we live out of state, so my child already has limited contact with him. I have warned my brother and his father about the contact that my niece and nephew have with them. Comment 3 says, drive to your stepbro's house, show him your virtual receipt, and take the gift back. Embarrass her for stealing. OP says, what's funny is that my stepbro is a cop.
Oh.
And today he confronted her about it. She gaslit him, and now there's a storm brewing. Comment 4 says, Marge is not the problem. It's easier to say she's the problem, but she's not. If I drive a burning car onto your driveway, do you blame the fire or the person who put it in your driveway? It might be hard for your father to leave now, but can you honestly say he has had no opportunity for 20 years?
Yeah.
Just because your father wants you to assimilate to his choices doesn't change the fact that he has made his choice and he chose Marge. 6,000 plus days of him waking up and staying married to a woman who hates his children.
Oh.
Have you ever wondered how Cinderella's dad left her with the evil stepmom? Your dad is the template on which the story was written. If you really, really feel like he deserves more of your patience, then arrange to see him without her there. Take him to dinner. If he can't be alone with you without her there, it's just another choice he's making.
Yeah.
By the way, you should make the choice to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is another update.
This
Any final thoughts?
is crazy. This is heartbreaking to see that the dad, again, wants to stay with the mother and kind of passed on from his kids. It's really sad to see. It's tough, really tough to see.
Well, he wants to stay with his stepwife.
With his stepwife, sorry. Wants to stay with his
or
stepwife.
stepmom, I guess, of
Or the wife.
kids. Yeah.
Stepwife, oh my gosh. Wants to stay with his wife.
Yeah.
But you got other family, it seems like, and make the
Yeah.
most of it while you can through this tough season.
I think that if all of you kind of unite, all of the other family members unite and are like, okay, we're going to limit contact with his mom, or, set some boundaries with her and get on the same page about it. Not even necessarily same page on like how much contact you're going to have with her, but just same page about who she is, and limit contact with your dad until he realizes that he can't have a relationship with you while the mom is there or the wife is there.
Yikes.
But there is an update. After giving it a little time and attempting to stay constant in my father's life, I received a phone call from him today.
Okay.
Small talk went good until I asked if he had spoken to Marge. She, as expected, would not admit to any wrongdoing, and he frankly didn't want to talk about it.
Uh-oh.
So unfortunately, I told him I was going no contact with both of them. I also told him he lost a daughter and a granddaughter, to which I was, and still am heartbroken about. Thank you for all your advice. I deeply appreciate it. Some I didn't want to hear or realize, but it helped me to make this decision, and I hope in the future will allow me to have less stress when I visit my hometown. I have informed all of my family members about this, and every single one is being supportive in my decision. She has one child out of 3 left to drive away. I hope it doesn't come down to that, but I have a feeling it will.
When one falls, other will too.
I think that was the right decision, OP.
Yep.
Your dad just can't see what he's doing, and he needs to, have consequences so that he changes his behavior. But that is the end of that story, folks, and the end of this episode. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And
See you tomorrow.